We don't talk a lot of defense here when we talk fantasy football, but we've got a matchup here tonight to kick off the weekend. Cowboys at the Vikings, and if the Vikings have any chance of winning this game, their defense has to come up big against that explosive offense. But because it is the Cowboys, do you consider maybe sitting out the Vikings defense if you have them?
I do. I think the thing that makes Dallas so good, just from a real perspective, is that they don't really turn the ball over. And then from a protection standpoint, they really don't allow Dak Prescott to be sacked that often. That's really the lifeblood of using a fantasy defense, is finding an opposing team that turns the ball over a lot and then allows their quarterback to be sacked. Now, there's a first time for everything. Maybe Dak comes out tonight and makes a lot of mistakes, but I think beyond being in a DFS situation where you're at a tournament and you have limited options, I think it's season long. You want to actually sit the Vikings down because this is a less than stellar opportunity for them tonight. Might be below average. They average 10, 11 fantasy points per game, depending on your league rules. This might be the kind of night where they put up a 6 or a 7, and that might not be enough for you this week.
Who's worth inserting into your lineup offensively in this matchup?
The best thing about the Cowboys continues to be that skinny tree that they use. I mean, Dak Prescott is a fine option. I think he can do damage against the Minnesota defense. Zeke is matchup proof against everybody. And of the pass defense and run defense, the Vikings are much weaker with their run defense anyway. And Dez against anybody, I think, is just fine too, as long as he's healthy. So they play the 3 studs for the Cowboys. On the Vikings side, it's a lot more tricky. I think Stephon Diggs is the only viable option to play in this matchup. I don't like the running backs. I don't like Sam Bradford. Got to check Diggs' availability 90 minutes before kickoff. If Diggs sits, Adam Thielen, I think, is good enough to use in this matchup as a wide receiver 3, assuming you're in a league that requires you to start 3 receivers each and every week.